Hey everybody, I'm Pierre Piscatelli, and today I'm going to teach you how to play September. Check this out. Over the years, I have found a pretty ideal way to teach and play September that incorporates elements from the original piano track, the Fender Rhodes track, the rhythm guitar tracks, and even the bass track. The piano track on this song was played by the amazing Larry Dunn, and most of what I'm going to show you gets you about 95% of the way there while incorporating some other cool stuff. So let me show you how to do this. Of course, we are going to start with the introduction. Step 1 is to play a D major 7, and you want to do it this way. You want to play D in octaves in the left hand. Everything is going to be in octaves, by the way, in the left hand, because you really need that power. If you absolutely can't do it, single notes will be okay, but aim for octaves if you can. So D octave, and right hand is C sharp, F sharp, A from bottom to top. And you're going to play this 3 times, very, not really staccato, it's almost marcato. It's very aggressive. Like that. So slowly. Then we're going to shift slightly to this chord. So C sharp in the left hand and B, E, A in the right hand. This is an A sus2 over C sharp, or C sharp minor 7 with a flat 6 or flat 13. There are a couple of names for this chord. It's all over the place in yacht rock music, in Steely Dan tunes especially. People are always fighting with each other over what to call it, but it just doesn't matter as long as you play the notes correctly. Next, we are going to move to B minor 7, which looks like this. B in the left hand, A, D, A in the right hand. So in total. Then you want to retrace your step backwards to this chord again. So that looks like this. One more time. And then finally, there is one more chord, which is F sharp minor 7. And you should play it like this. F sharp in the bass, A, C sharp, E, A in the right hand. But before you do that, there are 2 little passing notes that you have to get before the landing on F sharp minor 7. E, F, then F sharp. So it's a chromatic figure right there. So in total, that's the whole intro. One more time slowly. There is a problem here, though. If I just play what I taught you, it's fine, but it doesn't really groove. And that's because there are some filler and what I call ghost notes in the left hand, happening on almost all of the 8th notes. So essentially, no matter where you have landed with the left hand, you have to play 8th notes like this. That's what makes it groove, instead of just sitting and landing like this. That's kind of boring. So practice this slowly. So no matter where I am, I keep moving in 8th notes, even if it's on the same note. That helps this groove a little more. See, it makes a big difference. That progression happens 2 times. Now here, on the 3rd one, there's a bit of a difference at the end, as I'm sure you heard. So let me take you through that. On the 3rd revolution through the chords, it's all the same until we we do this. This is brand new. This is F diminished. Just like that. It's inverted a little bit. And then you're gonna play F sharp minor, just like that. Let me put that together slowly for you guys. So this is the third revolution through all the chords. That's the difference. F diminished, F sharp minor, instead of F sharp minor 7 like the other ones. Just a little bit different. So let me put all three of these chord cycles together. Just like that. Now to finish off the intro, we have to play this big G over A or A sus buildup. So it sounds like this. So what you want to do first is left hand playing A, G, A, like this. Again. And on the last time, just accent the A like that. Then the right hand is simply going to play a G major triad like this. If that G triad feels a bit boring and stagnant, well, that's because it is. So you can invert it like this. First inversion, B, D, G. Second inversion, D, G, B. Right? You can keep moving up. It's a great exercise anyway. You should be able to do your inversions. So I actually command you to do it. What you have to do is something like this. See how I worked my way up through the G inversions, and that added a bit of a build and some excitement to that moment? That's really what you should do there. Just for good measure, let me put the introduction together slightly under tempo. The verse is going to be very similar to the introduction. In fact, it's a little bit simpler. So the D major 7, which we used to start the introduction, we're going to reduce that a bit just to this. So left hand still on D octaves, but right hand on C sharp and F sharp. Just like that, just the 7th and the 3rd. That's all you really need. And then, after you do that 3 times, we're going to move down to a condensed version of the next chord. So C sharp in the left hand, B and E in the right hand. That's it. So this. Then we're going to do the same thing for B minor. You just get a B minor 7 with the 7th here and the 3rd here. So it's B in the left hand, A and D in the right hand. And then we work our way back to the previous chord, just like we did in the intro. So slowly. That should be pretty familiar. Now let me show you what comes next. So I'm sure you remember the left hand went E, F, F sharp. And to create the F sharp minor 7, the right hand will just play A and E like that, the 3rd and the 7th. So in total. The only thing is that at the end of this figure, in order to get into the next revolution of the chords, because as you know by now they happen several times, you want to go C sharp D in order to get into the next progression. So that looks like this. See, it's like a pickup. That's important. And now the final touch is, like I mentioned in the introduction, the left hand should be filling in 8th notes whenever possible, like this. If I just stay still and go, it's not as interesting. It will work, especially if you're in a big band with guitars doing rhythm and maybe a second keyboard player if you're lucky, but I would add the funky rhythm and add those eighth notes. It just fills it out more. Following the formula of the introduction, we are going to do this chord progression twice, and then on the third time through, there will be a slight change. It's kind of the same thing. So watch this. Here's the third time. There's the difference. So I land on C#7, C sharp in the left hand, B and F in the right hand. So let's take it from that third time. Everything else is the same. And then you have to do the G over A, just like the intro. Like that. Now there is a thing in the piano track that I think is cool and that you should imitate if possible. Let me show you how it goes. So it looks complicated, but it's not. All I did is the chord is G over A, like that, right? G triad over A in the root. I just went right, left, right, left, right. With the pedal. Slowly. So that looks like this if you want to do it. The verse happens twice, so let me just play through it anyway for good measure, slightly under tempo. Now that second time through the verse is going to launch you into the chorus. So there is a chromatic movement that you have to do in order to get to the chorus. And it starts right here. Watch this. See that? So I did G over A. I hit it one more time, and then I moved everything up a half step. So A flat over B flat. A flat major chord in the right hand, A flat C, E flat. B flat in the left hand. I'll do it again. Believe it or not, the chorus is the easiest part. It goes like this. So here's what's happening. The right hand is playing A and D, like that. Left hand is playing B. This is B minor 7. Strike it 3 times, like that. And then left hand moves to E. And all you do in the right hand is take your A and D and just move the A down a half step to G sharp, like that. So that looks like this. It's a one-note move in the right hand. Now we'll move everything up to C sharp minor 7, which looks like this. C sharp in the left hand, B and E in the right hand. Strike it 3 times. And then you're going to move the right hand B over here down to A. The E with the pinky stays the same. When you make that move, left hand goes to F sharp, like this. So here are the 4 chords. I'll do it slower. This 4-chord progression will happen 3 times, but there's a slight difference on the next 2 times that you do it. Check this out. Right there, ba-ba, added 2 little chords that are kind of important. So they look like this. So with the F sharp down in the bass, which doesn't change, the right hand plays G sharp B E, which is E major essentially. So E over F sharp, like that. And very quickly, it moves up to A, C sharp E, creating in total here an F sharp minor 7. So just practice that. So it's exactly the same as the 4-chord progression I just showed you, but you have to add that at the end. So like this. And then you do that again. So here's what the whole chorus looks like if we go through that progression 3 times. The first time is the basic one, the next 2 have those added chords I just showed you. No surprise here, we're going to go to the G over A chord, which ends every section. As I mentioned previously, when you end this chorus, just like the other sections, you can move your G chord in the right hand up in inversions to build excitement. And you should strike it 3 times, bop, 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 to end. So something like this. The last thing I have to show you guys is the post-chorus, where they just go ba-doo, ba-doo, that whole part. So this is essentially the same as the verse. You're gonna go like this. With that ending, right, left, right, left, right. So it's essentially exactly the same as the verse. And then you're going to do that all again. You're going to do a verse, a chorus, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to play through all that again because if I keep playing the song, YouTube will give me a copyright strike because I played it for too long. So guys, those are all of the pieces that you need to play September. I showed you an introduction, a verse, a chorus, and the post-chorus section, which is musically the same as the verse. All of that just repeats again and again and again, right? It's the same thing. I don't need to play through the rest of the song because now that you know the musical elements, as you listen to it, you're going to easily find, recognize, and be able to identify those sections. So that's it. As always, thank you so much for watching this lesson. Like this video if you enjoyed. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.